So in my research, I now took the view, is that really correct? And I took the examples of voice over IP and wireless LAN. And what I found is there are conflicting results in research. Looking at voice over IP and also at wireless LAN, Christensen always said it's disruptive. But I found other results of other very deep-going studies which said, no, it's a sustaining technology. So we can see these differences. Why? Because in that sense, the important part would be that the incumbents are reluctant to change to the new technology, to this inferior technology. But seeing it at this point for voice over IP and wireless LAN, we can see that the incumbents are not reluctant to change to this inferior technology. So that's why it's not disruptive at all in that case, but it has a disruptive potential. So this leads me already to my conclusions. If we take voice over IP and wireless LAN, we can see a disruptive potential, but no real disruption. It could be a disruption in one country, but it will be different in another country. So altogether, this concept of disruption is helpful and inspiring. It's an inspiring ex-post concept, but it's not good for predictions because the generalizations are very limited. Altogether, we can see in the literature that there's an overuse and an overstretching of this theory, and we could also see, especially for communications, that it's not applicable in all sectors. Why? It's ill-suited for electronic communications because there's a dominant role of regulation and standardization which is distorting the market. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Mike, for presenting within the time limit. Our third presenter, Ji, Ken, and Wang. I don't see Wang here. I'm not sure if Ji is in the women lounge.
He is.
He?
Ji or she?
No, Ji, Ken, I think she is a woman as far as I know. And Wang is a researcher. He is not here today with us. So is there any, in the women section, is there any researcher women there who can present the paper, which is Origins of the Criticism of Communication Technology and its New Development in the Internet Age. الباحثة جي كن حاصلة على شهادة الماجستير في الصحافة والاتصال من جامعة سينجوا الصين. رسالة التخرج جاءت تحت عنوان كيف تبني الثقة في شبكة العلاقات الاجتماعية بين الغرباء، وتعمل الآن محررة في موقع ميديا واتش في الصين، أول موقع غير ربحي على شبكة الإنترنت لانتقاد وسائل الإعلام في الصين. كذلك هي خبيرة وسائل الإعلام في معهد جين جودل ببكين، ونالت العديد من الجوائز، منها جائزة أفضل طالبة من بكين، وجائزة أفضل طالبة من جامعة رينمن، ومنحة أفضل عاملة اجتماعية.
Okay, I think I must be fast. Do you know who am I? Do you think I'm a real person? Maybe this is just a phone call made by Miss Jin from China, but I'm here making presentation without a PowerPoint and a presentation by myself. So I cannot stop rethinking the video conference technology. It reminded me of a discussion with my supervisor, Professor Junchao Wang, about his book, Media Criticism, Origins, Criteria, and Methods. All among the heated discussion and debates in academic circle, there is an indispensable counter-view that the criticism of communication technology was a false proposition. In other words, the critics insisted that since technology was more a well-free tool than a well-landed object. Analyzing this counter-view, we can find it mixed with two kinds of arguments that were conventionally used. One is that as a pure tool, technology seems to have nothing to do with any purpose, any political view, since technology can always keep the same rationality and efficiency in any circumstances. The other is that we should make a difference between technology and its application, because technology itself was essentially neutral, but its application may be good or evil according to unpredictable human nature. So tracing the origins of communication technology determinism we can find two important trends. One is the philosophy of technology, and the other is the Chicago School. The philosophy of technology was born in Germany between 1860s and 1870s and calculated around the Second War. During 1920s and 1950s, there were considerable numbers of books appeared or other people's. The Chicago School started in the early 1990s with the development of Second Industrial Revolution. Founders like Robert Park tried to bridge the humanism and scientism and greatly influenced communication scholars like Howard Innes and Marshall McLuhan, who created the basic paradigm of communication study. However, strictly speaking, technology determinism refers to the view such that technology is force of shaping the world and beyond the control of human being. It generally emphasizes on the autonomy and independence of technology. In communication study, Dennis Maxwell summarized the two kinds of tendency. One is media-centeredness, which means media is the key element that's shaping the world. Another is what I called media supremacy. In other words, media stay out of economy, political factors, and independently influence society. Although the heritage from technology philosophy and Chicago School led communication study on pouring deeply into the interaction of communication, technology, and social change, its logic remained in the tool-using culture when the sense of conquering and controlling pervaded the atmosphere, when arguments like painting technology benefits literature, gunpowder changed wars could be tenable. I think since 17th century, people and technology's honeymoon ended.